Welcome to CRED Foundation's video annual report. And what better day to send it to you than St. Nicholas Day, December 6th, commemorating an historical figure known for social justice and compassion. So join me for a couple of minutes as we take a look at all that's been achieved over the past year or more and look forward to our hopes and dreams for the future.
Corporate slogans are pretty hard to get right. Well, they could sound cliched or tokenistic, or even sometimes they can really work against you. There's a certain airline I've heard of whose reputation is less than good, shall we say, and their tagline is "We get you there." It's pretty much asking for trouble. Probably not so much as the car manufacturer, whose tagline is "We put people in front of cars." The best one for me was a laundrette from the US. Our tagline isn't that bad, participation for transformation. The problem is it's in danger of sounding perhaps a little cliched. But the reality is, it really does match, and I'm proud to stick with it, because it really does match where we're at and what we're doing. Our partners are the ones who are actually making the difference. They're the ones who are transforming lives. There's no such thing as a CRED project. We're literally just partnering with some amazing locally run, indigenous development community organisations who are all doing different things, but are all doing it in quite unique ways often, and groundbreaking ways often. But at the same time, we're also creating opportunities for UK young people, but also adults, to really get involved with those partners. It's nearly 200 people now, I think, over 5 years, have visited 4 or 5 different locations around the world, serving, giving of themselves, being trained and equipped to deliver some great play scheme activities, lessons, different kinds of activities throughout the week for young people and children abroad. They've been able to take bags and bags of equipment and resources that's incredibly useful, incredibly helpful for people. We've also been able to facilitate professionals going along to train staff at the same time, and all of it contributes to long-term development. It's not just some kind of one-off short hit-and-run thing. It's all part of a long-term development plan. Interestingly, the most frequent phrase that we pick up from our evaluations is "my eyes have been opened." What happens is people, start to really deeply identify with some of the real desperate needs and the challenges, the injustices that everyday people are facing in different locations, whether it's Ethiopia, Kenya, Burmese refugees in Thailand, and so on. But at the same time, they also experience quite an amazing cultural richness. It's not just about looking at poverty and needs. There's also a real reflection that goes on as they experience emphasis on community and family and friendships, and faith is all part of the mix, and spirituality too, heritage. All of this, honestly speaking, makes people realise that the UK has got a poverty of its own. In short, when people join us for a team trip, their participation actually ends up bringing about transformation in their own lives too.
It was the most amazing week of my life. I wouldn't change anything about it for the world. It was so hard to sum up all my feelings in words. I've met some incredible people and heard their stories. These people have been through more pain and suffering than I can ever begin to imagine, and yet the amount of love that they have given is beyond anything I've seen before. I've experienced extreme wealth and extreme poverty in the space of an hour. I've laughed, cried, and now share special memories with great friends who were the complete strangers a couple of days before. All these experiences have opened my eyes to so much, and it's helped me to realise that I want to go on and continue to work with and change the lives of people living in extreme poverty.
And so the reason we're doing a video annual report this year is firstly because, let's face it, the chances of an annual report being read are reasonably slim. We really wanted to communicate what we've been doing, not least which because it's been ages since we've properly communicated, so really sorry about that. You may have been journeying with us for many years. Thank you so much. We may be new to you. Hi, welcome. I'd love to be able to keep offering these opportunities to young people and adults from the UK, but most of all, to be able to keep resourcing these amazing partners, these amazing things that people are doing. I'd love to keep that going. And, you know, we're facing a little bit of a challenge in the year to 18 months ahead in terms of core funding. Often we've been great at getting funding for partners and getting things for them, but ironically not getting very much for ourselves and not sorting that out. In the long term, I think the team trips are really going to help us do that. But in the short term, we're facing real difficulty. As of next financial year, we just simply might not be able to keep going in the same way, if at all. And so what I'm asking is whether or not you'd consider, number one, fundraising for us. Many of the young people who go on trips and been on trips, and I hope you're listening too, they've done an amazing job. I mean, they think, how am I supposed to raise this much money? But they do. They end up doing it. There's a friend of mine who took on a pantomime horse doing the Great South Run. I mean, that 10 miles, that's not fun for either of them, and he was the behind. The guy in front didn't have a good job of it either. You know, we're just so grateful for those guys and for all the young people who've raised money for themselves, but also for the projects and the partners they're visiting. So I'm firstly asking, would you please consider doing some kind of fundraising of any kind? Secondly, you know, you may or may not have much yourself, but if you would consider giving to our core funds, if you consider investing in this opportunity, then I'd really appreciate your support. I'd really appreciate you journeying with us. And thirdly, I'd like to ask you if you could spread the word. There may well be individuals you know of, or schools, or colleges, or organisations, other people we could partner with to get the team trip stuff going. Other people who would just love to help with our partners in different ways. So if you know of anyone who you think would be interested in supporting us, getting involved in any way, please do get them to get in touch. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening. You know, I think we're going to stick with participation for transformation, regardless of what it sounds like, because it hopefully communicates who we are and what we do. So, happy St. Nicholas Day, have a great Christmas, and I look forward to hearing from you.